Hey everyone, it's Donna from redcarpetlearning.com, and today we are talking about how to help your team move past the trauma of the pandemic. Hey there, everyone. So I was just on the very first Red Carpet Reimagine Club. This is a group of people who are my customers, my newsletter subscribers, and we are going to meet monthly to help us all move into the next new normal in our company. So what does that look like from the standpoint of employee experience and customer experience going forward? And one of the main questions that people had was, how do we help our team move past the trauma of what has happened over the past year? How do we help people move past the feelings, the emotions, the stress that they are feeling after the pandemic? And all of us, regardless of what industry you're in, we've all experienced something. It was a sudden, drastic change, but particularly for people in healthcare and senior living and those essential workers on the front lines of this pandemic, it has been an extraordinarily traumatic experience, and there has been a lot of stress. And what I keep hearing from people is, we can't wait to, jump back into our customer service training, or we're just looking forward to getting back to normal. And the truth is, it may not be time for that yet. I know everybody wants to do that, but it's time it may be time to press pause, because it is like saying your parent just died, or your child just died, or your spouse just died. Take the week to go to the funeral, deal with everything you have to deal with, and then take a week off to grieve, and then poof, we're back to business. It's not possible. When a traumatic event happens, we are changed, and it takes time to process that and move past it. And the other thing is that one of the things that this pandemic revealed is that we can no longer pretend that we can divorce who we are as human beings from our work self. So the days of saying, you show up to work, you leave all your problems at the door, come in with a smile on your face and serve our customers, are over. Not that we don't want to bring our best selves to work. That's not what I'm saying. But to expect people to just not be humans and pretend like they don't have problems or they don't feel stress is just it's not feasible. It's not possible anymore. And honestly, it never really was. And one of the things that the pandemic has revealed, and even allowed us to do, is bring our human selves to work. And this is a trend that's going to continue into the future, this blending of who we are in our personal life and who we are in our work life. So having said all of that, one of the best things you can do to help your team members move past the trauma, the stress, the anger, the confusion, all of it that they may be feeling, as we come out of this pandemic, is to first give yourself permission to press pause. Don't jump right back into the initiatives, don't jump right back into everything. And then the next thing is to facilitate real, genuine conversations with your staff. This can be done in small groups, best done in small groups. I would say, like, you could do groups of 4 or 5, but no more than 8 to 10. But take the time. If you want a new initiative, make this your initiative. Take the time to sit down with your team members. You can facilitate, or you can have someone facilitate these conversations and ask questions to help people really process their feelings, their emotions, both negative and positive, related to everything that they have just been through. We're grieving now. We're grieving the loss of what used to be, and it's not something that happens overnight, and it's not something we can just expect people to jump right back into work. So I read this article by, and I didn't write the names down, so I'm just going to look while I'm filming this right now. It was in the Harvard Business Review, and it's called An Exercise to Help Your Team Overcome the Trauma of Pandemic by Lisa Zigarmi and Davia Larson. It was a really, really wonderful, wonderful article. And they had a series of questions that they encouraged people to ask, in these small groups. And I have added to them. So I'm going to give them to you right now. Some of them are from this article from the Harvard Business Review, and some of them are my own. These are theirs. Number 1, what is the greatest loss you experienced during COVID-19? Well, and this can be, this is about your personal, whatever. What is the greatest loss you experienced? By the way, you might start by asking yourself these questions. These would be great journaling questions for you before perhaps you start facilitating these groups with your team. Number 2, what is the greatest gain? What is the greatest gain? Number 3, what are you learning about yourself because of COVID-19? Number 4, what would it look like if you applied those learnings going forward? Number 5, what's a short word or phrase that you could use to remember and remind yourself to apply those learnings going forward? Now, those were their questions. It's a great article, by the way. You can look it up. And I'll link to it in the notes below. But here are mine. So from a workplace standpoint, you can also add, what are some new skills that you as an employee and we as a team learned during COVID-19? So that's number 5. Number 6 is, what would it look like if we applied those skills moving forward? What could our workplace look like if we applied some of those skills? And then number 7, what I would suggest that you do is do this in your group, but anonymously using index cards, and you ask your team, as we reimagine the future of our company, of our team, of how we work together, what should we stop doing? What should we start doing? And what should we continue doing? And use their answers as fodder for reimagining what the future of your culture looks like, your employee experience, and your customers. Those are some really deep questions, and it's just going to be really, really important that you take the time to pause, that you help people come to terms with everything that we have just been through, and then move forward. Then there's time enough to jump right back in. Let's take a breath and work through some of the feelings, some of the emotions that we are having because of everything that we've just been through. I think that those listening sessions, those questions, and really getting people talking about what they've just experienced is one of the best things you can do to improve employee morale, to improve employee engagement. You have to start by just letting them process, the experience that we've all just had. So I hope that was helpful. If you find it helpful, please hit like, comment below, and let me know what you're doing to help your team members move past everything that we have just experienced and continue to experience. And if you like this video, also subscribe so you always see all the other videos. Remember to hit that little alarm button, and then it will always tell you when I have a new video. In the meantime, I love it when you check out my website, redcarpetlearning.com. And as always, I send you love, and I hope you keep living and working the red carpet way.